Holy crap. I just got done watching the Season 3 premiere of Arrow, Episode 1 entitled The Calm. This episode was crazy. I don't know where to begin. Let's start with the beginning because we see Arrow, Oliver, and Roy in full costume, which was really awesome. Them working together, rounding up criminals. I like that. I also love seeing Oliver with his Arrow gadgets. The fact that certain ones can do different things. Like at the beginning, we see one that he used as like a net. A net came out of the arrow and caught one of the criminals. The moment where he grabs him and says, "You have failed this city." I sort of geeked out for that. He hasn't said this since Season 1. I understand why they stopped saying it in Season 2, but man, am I glad that they brought that back. And then even later on, he used an arrow that when he shot it at somebody, it tied them up. So more arrow gadgets, I'm all for. The thing about Roy's costume, though, is that as cool as it looks, I love the color, the dark red, and him having his own mask, but it does look a lot like the Flash costume, now that I'm thinking about it, and could be a little bit of an issue since this is in the same universe. There will be a crossover episode, so if we ever see them together, you might be like, wait, huh? What? Diggle is about to have a baby. In fact, he has his baby in the first episode. I was a little surprised that they did it in the first episode, but I liked that Diggle finally has something to do. Because if I ever had any complaints about Season 2, the only one really was that Diggle was just there. He never really felt all that important, with the exception of a couple episodes. So now that, I like seeing him and Oliver clash a little bit because Diggle wanted to be more involved in some of these missions, and Oliver said, no, you have to be there for, I guess it's his girlfriend or his ex-wife. I don't think they even know what they are. But I like that Oliver was thinking about him first. And the last thing he wanted was for something to happen to Diggle. So I liked all that. And I liked that by the end of it, Diggle agreed with him. Now, Oliver and Felicity. Man, was I not expecting this. I mean, I know in the trailer they hinted that the two of them might hook up. But I didn't think it would be this heavy. The whole episode was pretty much dedicated to how much Oliver loves Felicity. And that caught me by surprise. If you would ask me last season, what would I think of the two of them ending up together, I wouldn't have been all for it, mostly because I liked Oliver with Sarah. So Felicity, I didn't know if they would have worked as a couple, but you know what? Seeing what she did to Oliver here, just how nervous he got around her, how beautiful she was at the dinner scene, it's still funny. Like, Felicity, how could you not like her? And I thought she would be somebody to bring Oliver out of that dark place, because the first 2 seasons he was pretty hard and rugged and not showing a whole lot of emotion. I like that there was a reason to it, in that you thought he was going to come out of that. But by the end of it, they can't really be. And I think if that's going to be their relationship, is that they like each other, but they can't ever be together, I certainly don't mind that. And also, I have to admit that seeing Felicity work at that tech smart type place was hilarious. And it made a lot of sense too, because Oliver now, he isn't at the head of his organization. He doesn't really have money coming in. Sure, he still has something, but he can't pay Felicity like he used to, so she had to get a real job. That was amusing. And then in walks Brandon Routh, who, when I read that he was going to be in this season, I was very excited. And then seeing him in this episode, I'm very happy, because he is so charismatic. Almost surprisingly, too, because when he did Superman Returns, some people complained that he's not a good actor, he's too stiff, there's not a whole lot to him. You see him here, night and day. This guy oozed with charisma. And I also love that he wants to change the name of the city to Star City. Thank God, because I never was really a fan of Starling City. Just that name, it didn't work for me. So let's take it to the comics. Star City, Sounds so much better. Detective Lance getting the promotion, I liked a lot. I liked that he called off the whole going after the vigilante campaign, so now the cops won't be after him necessarily. So that was cool. And seeing that he's not healthy, he shouldn't be on the job, or at least going on the field, but he does it behind his daughter's back to help Arrow. I like that. I like that he still wants to be in the game, even though he's not supposed to be. Now, the villain of the episode was Vertigo. And it might be weird because Count Vertigo died last season, but this isn't the same guy. It's a different guy who, I guess, has picked up the drug business that Count started. And I liked the Count character. He was so over the top and just flamboyant, and he was fun to watch. This guy certainly isn't that. He might be more like the Vertigo from the comics. I don't know. I like that he didn't die at the end of the episode. At least I don't think he did. So, and the moments with him injecting Oliver with the drug and Oliver seeing himself and struggling with that, dealing with that, I thought was more interesting than probably him just straight up facing this guy. But before I get back to some other stuff, the flashbacks of Oliver in Hong Kong, I'm very interested to see him in Hong Kong because, yeah, I initially thought it was weird to take him out of the island. Just, he was supposed to be in the island for 5 years. What's going on? But if there is this whole story with Amanda Waller trying to get him for whatever she wants him to do, and you see that she's threatening this guy's family there to also make Oliver do it, and then we see this actress who, if anyone saw The Wolverine, she played Yukio in that movie. So seeing her on Arrow, I enjoyed, and I'm curious to see what they do with her. But getting back to present day, I love the Barry Allen cameo. It was maybe 30 seconds, but I like it because it lets me know that the Flash show and the Arrow show are almost happening exactly at the same time. And if we're going to keep that timeline parallel like this, I'm all for it. Black Canary returned. She came in at the end and she helped Oliver fight off some of these guys, and I loved it. I really like Katie Lotz. But then, after she was done talking to Laurel on the roof of the building, somebody got her attention, shot her with 3 arrows, and she fell off the roof and fell to her death. I was watching this and I felt numb. I felt just partly angry, partly pissed off, but I get it. I get that it was most likely, I could be wrong, but most likely that was Ra's al Ghul. And if you're going to introduce Ra's al Ghul physically in this show, killing the Black Canary was a way to do it. And it just sucks, though, because I really liked Sarah's character. It was something that I didn't know if it was going to work in Season 2 when I heard she was going to be the Black Canary, but I really enjoyed everything that they did with her character, and seeing her die hurt. It was supposed to hurt, so job well done, but still, it hurt. Overall, though, I loved this episode. This has been one of my favorite of the shows that are coming back. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you've seen this episode. What do you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!